Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building. Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the shakedown.
Let's go.
You by the way, King Dingbat here, and welcome to the season finale of the Philly Shakedown podcast, going 2 years strong. What is up, JoeyShakes?
I'm good, man. Yeah, dude, season finale going to the third year. Philly Shakedown. How about that, dude? It's been a long time.
Man. It's been a long time. It's been there hasn't really been any all season, it felt like, going from the Super Bowl right into like free agency and then the draft. You know, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Philly Nation 307's here. Bleeding Kelly Green, JJ Rock Philly, William, Lit City, Brian Donahue, Cosmo Kramer, Love Jen Seinfeld, Logan Motorsports, Daz, what's up, Daz? Jaden's here, House Nelson's here, GG, Willie Jackson, Hole, Jerry, Nathan. What's going on, you guys? System of the Knot, what is happening, my man? Baron, what's going on? What's up, everybody? If I missed you, I'm sorry about that. But thank you guys for being here. It's been a crazy off season. And really, you know, we're gonna take like a month off from doing the Philly Shakedown podcast because for several Saturdays I will not be around, and we'll come back like 2 weeks before training camp starts, dude. It's gonna be crazy, you know. Going to be crazy. What are your overall thoughts right now with this team, just in general, just in where we are in the off season and where we're kind of going?
Yeah, I mean, I think from like we're kind of looking at the team as like a good fold right now with, we're looking at a lot of depth right now to see where we're at with certain positions, and at the same time, or, maybe waiting for Howie Roseman to make a move or two at 4 open roster spots and, to see obviously our draft picks, to see, depth at corner, depth at, linebacker, see where we're at with some of these positions and kind of seeing the back end of where everything's going to kind of fold with the competition. So I feel really good. I feel like Hurts is going to come in and be a lot better. We're not expecting him to probably get a lot of reps, in the joint practices, definitely. But I think when it comes to preseason and all that, we're going to see a lot of different guys on the field to see what we have, behind everybody. So, I think it's really exciting. I think, Howie has done as much as he possibly could. Not saying he's done, but I think we're in a good place right now. We just got to see how this whole thing unfolds.
Yeah, I think we're in a very, very good position. I really do. In a lot of ways, I think we're in a stronger position than we were going into last year because I think there's a lot more guys that are going to be here long term instead of just 1 year deals. So that's really, really good. We know how he's going to do something. The guy has 4 roster spots open. He's going to fill those roster spots. With guys. We just don't know who yet. Mark says, good evening, Philly and Joey. Enjoy your time off. You earned it. Thank you. And I had a little poll. Let me pull this poll up here. I'm going to end this poll and see the results. I haven't even looked at it. So I'll read it to you in a second. So it was, who's most likely to have a breakout year for the Eagles? I had Nakobe Dean, DeAndre Swift, Nolan Smith, or all of them. Dallas still stinks. And so, not surprising, all Dallas still stinks won with 48%, Nakobe Dean 22%, DeAndre Swift 18%, and Nolan Smith at 10%. I really think we could have multiple guys breakout. I really think, though, if I had to choose one guy in that, I really believe it's going to be DeAndre Swift. I think Swift is going to have a monster year, not just as a running back, but also in the receiving game. And he's going to give us an element we really haven't had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can agree with Swift when it comes to receiving ability and rushing. I think I even like defensive side too. I think I think DeVonta Smith offensively will have the most yards on this team. I think defensively, I think it'll be Reddick. I think Nolan Smith will actually lead the, maybe not lead the league, but I think I have good faith that he'll lead in pressures on this team as well. So I think he'll have a really good year. There's a lot of the defense as well, it could break out.
Yeah.
The whole defensive line could be the same thing like last year. You never know.
Yep. Yeah. Kirk says, just paid for my Sunday ticket, ready for the NFL season. Yeah. So just a reminder, and I haven't even bought mine yet. But I think tomorrow up until tomorrow, the deal is like $100 off if you get the Sunday ticket now. So I'll probably have to buy mine tonight. But yeah, you guys look for it. I'm very unhappy about DirecTV going to YouTube. I'm not happy about that at all. When I get home, I have to move my whole router now.
Well, here's the thing now with Sunday Ticket, and obviously it's different now because it's not DirecTV. But the number one thing that probably a lot of people complain about too is you can't pay it in increments anymore. So you can't pay $70 something a month for it. Instead of paying $350 up front, or like I said, if you after June 6th, you'd have to pay $450, which is absolutely insane. But here's the thing that really annoys me. Okay. Now, don't be tricked. If you're going to get Sunday Ticket, make sure that you purchase it without, unless you already have YouTube Studio, then who cares? Then I guess you're fine with it. If you purchase it without Sunday Ticket, it will be $350. But even with a YouTube subscription, YouTube TV subscription, you're paying $250, but YouTube TV is $72 a month. So really, by the time you're paying $72 this month, next month, the month after, it actually is more money. So paying for Sunday Ticket without YouTube TV is going to be cheaper in the long run of this season. So just to let you guys know on that, because people are kind of confused on it.
Yeah, I don't have YouTube TV, so I'm gonna have to.
I just purchased it a few days ago, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to do it tonight. Gigi says, "What up, D Hopper? What's up, man? What's up?" Pause.
Right.
Yes. Sydney family, thank you for the super chat. He goes, Goddard, the forgotten man. I don't think Goddard's the forgotten man, but it is true. I think, we probably don't talk about him enough because you just got so much talent with A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith. But Dallas Goedert, I think he's a top 5 tight end in this league. And if he stays healthy, you could see a position where you get, have 3 1,000-yard guys. That would be crazy, but it is possible. They can do it. I believe that.
Yeah, even talking about the back end too of the tight ends too. Like Calcaterra apparently is having a pretty good offseason, bulking up a little bit, and I think they need to use more of him. I think we'll have the same 3 tight ends this year. I think they're going to keep 3. I think you're going to have Dallas Goedert, Jack Stahl, Calcaterra. Like Tyree Jackson is just, it's nice that he's back, but he really has to push to really make a roster spot because he's been injured. When you talk about his metrics at 6'7", and the guy's just an absolute monster. Just imagine what he could turn into at tight end.
Yeah.
And have Dan Arnold's the other veteran tight end that they signed as well. So I'm looking for Calcaterra to really make a big step up this year. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, Calcaterra is going to be interesting. House Nelson says, "What up, 500? What is up, my man?" I've heard some, and I know that I probably shouldn't say this, but I heard that Tyree Jackson's looking pretty good. I don't know. He's looked good in OTAs before, and I thought, if you remember before his injury in that preseason, like he looked like he had tremendous amount of talent. I think this is do or die for him this camp, though. He's got to show us something, or he's gone. I think
Agreed.
Yeah, YouTube. Let's see. Chris says YouTube just needs the bitrate 720p for NFL games is a no-go. At least 1080p.
It's not streaming higher than 720. Really? So they're still streaming in HD?
I have no idea. But I mean, DirecTV, it was 1080, at least 1080i. It might have been 1080p.
That's
but
ridiculous.
The only thing that I like about it being on YouTube is I can have one earphone in and actually hear the volume of the game. But other than that, there's no benefit for me to have it on there. It's not like because it's on YouTube, we can stream the game in the background while we stream it. I mean, that would be really cool, but we still can't do that, you know? True. That would be really cool. Hurts season, he says, hey, Philly, it's my son's birthday. He just turned 21. Could you wish him a happy birthday? His name is... I'm smart enough. I caught that one. Happy birthday to him. He almost got me on that one. Dad says, we've been hearing about Tyree Jackson. It looks good for 3 years now. Well, yeah, I know, but he was coming off an injury last year. Well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know what to expect. I don't, you know. Fab Folder 93, a member for 13 months of Dingbat Nation. Thank you so much for your support. He says, my wife went out last night and isn't back yet. I don't know. Did you feed her? She ain't going out for food. I don't know. But man, these guys are hilarious. You can stream live on TikTok. How do you stream live on TikTok? I thought you can only have like 90 seconds on TikTok.
No, you could stream on there. I think you can.
Okay, but you can't show the game in the background though. Like you run into that problem with all of it. It's not like, you know, because I would love to be able to have the game on and be able to show the game while streaming. I mean, that would be a streamer's dream, but you know, they're not going to allow that. You know. Cody says, if the Eagles need help at safety and linebacker, why not just trade for Isaiah Simmons instead of getting Buda Baker, picking D-Hop, the way Simmons could play the hybrid role? You know, that's an interesting question. You kind of like, I have a video coming out later, and it kind of talks a little bit about the linebackers. And, you know, I've kind of come to the conclusion that with the linebacking situation, I kind of want to see these young guys play. I don't want to just go out and get another linebacker. I want to see what Nakobe Dean can do and Nicholas Morrow. And then there's been a lot of talk about Christian Ellis and how good he looks. He may be a sleeper. I think I want to let those guys play before I go out and add to the linebacking core. I would much rather go after a safety, a wide receiver, or another defensive lineman, like a defensive end. I think I'm good. I think I'm good to let the linebackers just let them
get it out for now.
I want to see what we got with these young guys.
True.
I do, you know. You should be on Twitch. I don't know anything about Twitch. I know the Sports Fury, they had a Twitch thing that they were doing before, and I went on a couple times. I couldn't understand how the hell it worked, you know. So it is what it is. Timothy Looper, what's up, man? He's hello from old fat big dick Cowboy fan from Terrell, Texas, 30 miles east of Dallas. I like how you added all that braggadocious stuff. But what's up, my man? 500, you should have a Discord. That's something I plan on doing, you know, this summer. When things are slow, we're in that, you know, phase where there's nothing going on. That's when I'll start dealing with stuff like that and things like that. So it'll be interesting, you know. Let's see. Philly 500. Who's the best player in the NFC East?
Entirely.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I agree.
Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is the best player in the NFC East. I know what you thought I was going to say, but I wasn't going to say Micah Parsons. I don't even know that I would put him ahead of Hassan Reddick. Let's see. I agree. Letting the young guys play. The Reynolds are just stopgaps. I mean, look, listen. Nicholas Morrow. If you look at Nicholas Morrow, right? He was ascending player. He was having every year. He was getting better and better with Chicago. And I know it was Chicago, but he was getting better and better. And then you look at Nakobe Dean, and we took him for a reason. We knew that was all just a matter of time before he plays. And then from what we're hearing about Christian Ellis, he may be a guy that surprises. I was reading an article about him today, and they were talking about how we made a big deal about with what Nakobe Dean did versus the Titans, but he actually had a pretty good game against the Titans too. Let me pull it up. This one part where it says I don't think I could show it, but I could read it.
Yeah, he was all over the place that game.
It says let me see, where is it? Wait, hold on, let me find it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it said this is what the article said. This was John McMullen, right? He said, this is the part I'll read to you guys. He says, as much has been made of Dean's natural instincts and mop-up duty when the 2021 Buckus Award winner produced 6 tackles in his scant 34 reps, including 5 in 15 snaps against Tennessee on December 4th of last year. Consider that Ellis recorded 7 tackles on only 22 defensive snaps, including 3 tackles in 10 snaps against those same Titans. So he actually went out and played pretty good as well as Nakobe Dean. So, maybe we got something here, and maybe we should give those guys a chance and see what they got. A linebacker is somebody I think you could add at the trade deadline. I really think that if you're going to add something, I think defensive end, safety, or wide receiver in no order is where you go, and maybe even a punt returner. You don't really need a kickoff returner anymore, but a punt returner would be nice.
I mean, they got Zacchaeus on there, which is good on the list. I mean, this is the depth chart list of how they receive these punts in order, and like Zacchaeus and Watkins were like the last 2. So they still like Britton Covey at number 1 right now. So maybe that changes. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, kick returns are now a waste. You could kick the ball off at the 5-yard line. All you can do is fair catch it to the 25. I absolutely hate that rule. Emmanuel says, hi, Philly 500. I'll follow you from Puerto Rico. You're the best. Fly was fun. Hey, man, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Philly White says, Philly, what do you think of the Colts gambling situation and Leonard Floyd being signed by the Bills? Leonard Floyd being signed by the Bills didn't surprise me. We had heard that they were interested. The gambling situation with the Colts. Did you hear about this? I don't know what player it was, or if it was multiple players.
Yeah, they didn't say specifically.
But they're saying that there was a Colts that might have actually been betting on their own games.
Damn.
That's going to be like lifetime ban. You know what I mean? In my opinion,
lifetime.
If you're betting on your own team, I think that's a lifetime ban. I mean, that's like because then you're talking about being in a situation, depending on who it is, where you could actually fix games. So I think they would come down really hard on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they gave what's his face a year suspension for that,
and he was just betting NFL. I don't know if he was betting his own team or he wasn't playing. So, he wasn't impacting the game. Luke Bradshaw says Yannick is the guy to sign, especially if Floyd signed with the Bills. Yeah, I really want to sign Yannick Ngakoue. I do, and I feel like the longer it goes where he's a free agent, the better that works for the Eagles. A lot of these guys you wait out. And we were talking about this before the show that, the closer you get to training camp, the closer you get them, the less those guys are going to make. So, the Eagles and other teams, they don't mind waiting that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It really is. Philly White says, yeah, but I think that's players that suspended a year. Wow, for the year? I mean, geez, that would be. I mean, Pete Rose, Nathan. He bet his own team and stuff. He got a lifetime ban.
Jeez.
Bleed Cudgreen, any news on the punter we got? I forget his name. The Legatron, we'll call him. But
Tyler Zentner, I think his name is.
Yeah. From what I heard last week at OTAs about him was he had some huge kicks, and then he shanked some too. So he was kind of like up and down.
Yeah.
But he's got he's got a big leg. They said, What about pause? I caught that. But what about the other kid, Ariza? Would you bring him in?
If they don't mind, like, obviously the background stuff, and if he's 100% clear to come back, obviously, so I wouldn't mind it. No, they welcome guys like that to get second chances, and I don't mind it. Anyway, to get Sipos out of there, because unless Michael Clay is just a favorite of him, and like he picks favorites, or because if Covey and Sipos are still, I mean, look, it could be Covey at the end of the day. I'm not hating on him or anything, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, to me, the kid's been cleared. He's been cleared of all charges. He deserves to have his life back. So it wouldn't scare me off to do it. He's been cleared. And we could use a good punter. Really, one of the underrated things that we don't talk about enough that I think the Eagles really need to improve is on special teams. They need to do a better job with field position, because I think there are a lot of times where they have no return game at all. And we're always starting, it seems like, deep in our own side of the field, and teams are always starting like the 40 because we don't have the greatest punter. So a punter could definitely change that, as well as a punt returner,
Yeah, true.
So I would like it, you know what I mean? Dad says he's been found innocent. What are we doing? I don't know. I mean, really, I think he had a workout with one team. He talked to one team. I forget who it was. But you would think with his talent and ability that there would be more people interested. I mean, he's been found innocent. There was, he was not only found innocent, but he was cleared of it. So, I don't know. Josh Siegel, thank you for Super Chat. Thoughts on Nakobe Dean getting the green dot? Well, Nakobe Dean is really smart player. We know that he's a smart player, and he's the perfect guy to get the calls and signals and stuff. So I think Nakobe Dean's going to have a great year. I really think Nakobe Dean is going to be an absolute stud, and I am so excited to see him play. It should be really interesting. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to come down. It's going to come down to Sean Desai. He's the final piece of the puzzle of where he's putting his defense, creating ways to get, pressure on quarterbacks, and it's all on this coach. I think my gut feeling is Nakobe Dean's going to be a great player, but we got to see it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. OJ was found innocent too. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Well, I would say, I don't want to get into politics, but. This kid was cleared. It wasn't even like he went to trial and found innocent, and it was, a lot of people were upset about it. This kid, like, from all the video evidence and everything, he was like flat out cleared. I don't even know if the girl admitted it. He did, because he's actually suing the girl now. Like, he's suing them. So, if people are found innocent and we don't allow them to go back to their lives, then what are we doing? Like, if somebody's found innocent, I'm sorry, but they should have their life back, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like when guys are blamed for things, or when, I don't know, like when females could say whatever they want, and it seems like they just don't get in trouble for almost putting somebody behind bars, or it seems like it's just not really fair. Justice wise, but that's just me.
Brian says, if a player is on his own team, why ban him for life? I don't know that they will, but I would assume that they might, because it would depend on the player. But if he's betting on his own team, that doesn't mean he's necessarily betting for his team to win. He could be betting against his team. He's betting on the games his teams are playing, which could affect the game, could affect the outcome. He could throw the game,
It's a huge advantage.
It's like, I don't even. I think the players shouldn't be allowed to bet football, right? Don't bet football, but they should be able to bet every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, but you, especially your own team. Like, I don't think you should be betting your own team. Like in Vegas, I don't think Vegas, like the Raiders, like they don't even. I don't even think they take bets for the Raiders. At least that's what I heard, because those guys, they don't want them going to casino and betting themselves, you know?
Right.
But when I say betting, I don't mean like Bernard Hopkins betting on himself to win the boxing match. Like for all we know, he could be betting against himself. Phil White says, I feel bad for Rizzo. Some people are just insane. Yeah, I know. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Kirk says Johnny Depp won his case, but that video showed that Amber was back. Yeah, dude, that was. I even watched a little bit of that. She was nuts. You know. Trivial says if he's betting the Colts to win, then he has bad judgment because the Colts stink. Well, that's what I'm saying. What are the chances that it's not? You know. Tom says I agree with you guys 100%. Just make small jokes. You know, just it's not. Oh no, you're all good, man. You're all good. I thought you were just kidding. You know. Let's see. They take bets on the Raiders nights in Vegas. I don't know that they do. Do they? That would be shocking. I know back when the Sacramento Kings, I think their old owners owned one of the casinos out there in Vegas, and they were not allowed to put up the lines for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
So, you know, it's just it is what you mean. It is what it is, you know. Joe, what's up? He goes, Philly Joey, I'm thinking DeAndre Swift is going to be our unofficial third receiver. He is a weapon that Jalen hasn't had yet. To get D-Hop will take him to humble himself and accept his role. Well, yeah, from everything. Listen, I would love the idea. I still say it, but with everything we're hearing with him, it sounds like he's like, I'll go to any team. I mean, he's connected to like the Texans. It sounds like he's more about the money than about winning. So that's what it looks like. But you're right. He would have to humble himself. I do think Swift is, I would say fourth receiver because you can't forget Goddard. But I think DeAndre Swift is going to add an element to this offense that we hadn't had, and that was a receiver out of the backfield. I really think he's going to have over 1,000 yards rushing, and I think he's going to have, 40, 50 catches. I do, and I think he's going to be effective for us.
Yeah, huge.
I would line him up in the slot. I'd move him all around, man.
Oh, yeah. I hope they do that. Sure.
I can't wait. JJ Rock Philly says, I'm so ready for DeAndre Swift to run all over the Cowboys. Me too. James says they own the Palms. Yeah, I knew it was one of those casinos. Let's see here. Trying to catch up to this chat. Let's see. What is more likely, Swift getting 1,000+ yards or Jalen Carter 7? Oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna say, geez. I personally predicted that I think Jalen Carter will have at least 9.5 sacks. Okay, so I'm saying that to say this. I think it's easier for Swift to get 1,000 yards because I think Swift is going to be the number one back. Now, if Penny's healthy and they're splitting carries, then maybe not. But I just think Swift's going to have a monster year.
Yeah.
I know Bonzology, if he's here, shout that he don't agree with me. He wants to bet me because he thinks Penny's going to be the number one guy.
We can't replace 1,000-yard receiver from last year.
No, he thinks Penny's the guy that's going to have the big year, and I think it's Swift. So I mean, we'll see. I told him I'll make a little bet. Kirk says Philly Shakedown merch 2023. Yeah, that's something we got to work on. Once we get to during a break, I want to update the intro video wise. I want to maybe get a logo and then maybe do some merch stuff. Yeah. E. Fritz says, how do you think the running back depth chart will end up? My guess, we keep 4. And it's going to be Swift, Penny, Gainwell, Scott. And I just think Sermon may be on the outside, dude. He may be on the outside.
Maybe. Yeah. They'll keep 4, though.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Tommy says, people saying Dalvin Cook on Miami would be the best wide receiver running back trio. What about A.J. Smith and Swift? If Swift gives you the year that I think he's going to give you, I think that the Eagles. But I can see why they would put Cook ahead of Swift at this point right now.
Right.
Because, Swift, he's got to show he can stay healthy and be consistent. But I think this is the year.
Oh, Cook's been injured. I mean, Cook's been injured too. I mean, both of them have. So,
yeah, Cook has been too. That's true. I did a video the other day. Like, I don't understand this at all. Like, the Eagles in Vegas have the fourth best odds of getting him. Like, that's like, where did that come from? The Eagles have the fourth best odds in Vegas to get Dalvin Cook. Like, I don't think we need him. I like him, but I don't think we need him. Like, I didn't understand that at all, dude. That was weird. That was a weird thing, And Vegas is usually pretty good. I usually say the top 5 in Vegas, whatever their odds are, and whatever it is, usually top 4 or 5, it usually is going to hit in there. So that was really surprising. I don't know why they said that. I don't know why the odds are like that. Brian, guys, his Philly 500 new military whistleblower came out. U.S. has a UFO retrieval program. I know. I'm going to do a tinfoil dingbats on that probably tomorrow. But yeah, apparently there's a whistleblower saying that we do have non-human military or non-human crafts.
Right.
So get ready for Project Bluebeam. Get ready for the fake alien invasion. It's coming. James says Swift ain't getting 1,000 yards. Why don't you think Swift can get 1,000 yards? I don't understand. Why don't you think Swift can get that? If he stays healthy, you've got the best offensive line in football.
Mm-hmm.
You go watch Swift week 1 versus the Eagles, dude. Dude was a beast.
If Sanders can get 1,000 yards, he could well over 1,000 yards. Probably earlier. Yeah.
Luke says, do you all think Buda Baker's still in play? I'm mixed on the issue because I would love to have him, but I kind of want to see Brown, Blankenship, and Edmonds can do. I listen. I think with Howie Roseman, I think everything's in play all the time. So yeah, I do think he's in play. I do think the Eagles are set up to do it. It's just a matter of, does it happen or not?
Right.
As far as safety goes, like I feel the way Luke feels about the safety position, where he wants to see those young guys play. I feel that way about the linebacking position. But if I could upgrade my safety position, and kind of I would like to do that. But I do think Sidney Brown's a player, and I think Sidney Brown's going to win the starting job.
Got a good feeling about it. I do.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Alex is 16 games, 1,000 ain't what it used to be. Yeah, 17 games. Yeah. Yep. Carter will have an insane breakout season with 12 sacks. That's a lot of sacks for a defensive tackle. You could be right. I mean, especially if Jordan Davis, right, is as in good shape, he's in great shape. If he is as dominant as I think he can be, he's going to be taking a lot of those double teams, which is going to open up stuff for Jalen Carter. I think 9.5. I'm going to say 9.5 sacks as a rookie. That's what I think.
A good year, yeah.
Yeah. Harold says, don't bet on Swift, bro. Man, a lot of people down on Swift.
I don't get it.
I'm surprised. I guess, I mean, he didn't do it for Detroit, but, I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's crazy.
You're talking about Swift and Jalen Hurts just on that. just alone on the read options and the RPOs, how dangerous that would be on top of the offensive line and the weapons on the outside that will, stretch the defenses out. So,
yeah. Kirk says, my biggest concern going 2023 is the high expectations. How will they block the noise? What's the bigger question? That's a great question, because typically the team that loses the Super Bowl usually struggles that following year. It usually happens. I would say this. The vibe I get from Jalen Hurts is that he's not going to let that happen. Like, he's all business, and I think the team follows him. So unless you get a rash of injuries, I think this team, especially in a conference that's weaker, I think they'll be okay. I do think that expectations are going to be high, and that's just the name of the game. When you you're one series away from winning a Super Bowl. So I think they'll be able to handle it. And I would say I primarily give that to Jalen Hurts because I think, with Jalen Hurts, and then you have guys like Jason Kelsey and Brandon, I think you have enough guys on there to keep them grounded. And just by the way, the OTAs and the off-season workouts and stuff, the amount of guys showing up for all that, the way all that is going, it looks like this team is going to be hungry,
Yeah, I mean that's a good question though, because I never really thought about it like that. Because you're right, a lot of teams that are in the Super Bowl never really, either deteriorate a little bit, they take a step back a little bit after having a game like that. But because of just this roster and how he keeps up with, keeping a dominant roster and really not losing any pieces offensively, and having Jalen Hurts that gravitates everybody towards him as a leader, and the culture in general, it's and having selfless players, they're not selfish, they're they want to get wins every week. I just it doesn't really worry me as much as it may worry some people. It really doesn't.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think injuries to me is what I worry about more, because I think that if this team is healthy like they have been the last few years, relatively, I think they're going to be fine. Bleed Green, a member for 4 months, a double moonwalker. Shout out to you. He goes, wide receiver Michael Pittman got suspended for gambling. Michael Pittman.
Wow, that's a big weapon.
That's a huge loss. Now, was he betting on his team? And if he was betting on his team, was he betting on his team to lose? Because if I was betting on them, I would bet for them to lose. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Dad says Ringo is a big boy. He has a hard time stopping on a dime. He has issues covering shifty wide receivers. I think, a lot of the scouts said that. I think that's why he may end up making a better safety. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But we'll see. Cancellation fee of $400. What's the cancellation fee we're talking about? Are we talking about an NFL ticket?
You can't cancel it anyway. You can, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, he didn't get suspended. What? Really? He didn't. Well, did it just not come down yet? Colton Rogers Jr. being investigated. Jeez, how about that? That's crazy. We're gonna have to see what comes of it. I mean, if they're gambling just games, it's fine. But if they're gambling their own team game, I don't know where that goes.
Right.
That sounds like Pete Rose stuff. Nick Sirianni, the cannoli eater. Outside of the NFC East, who do you think the Eagles have the baddest blood with? I would say San Francisco or Minnesota. Yeah, I would say right now, currently, it's got to be San Francisco with all the trash talking that they did. There's going to be a lot of trash talking leading up to that game.
Oh yeah,
and then for us fans, I think since 2017, it's got to be the Vikings.
True.
Yeah, I would say so. Let's see. If anyone is guilty of throwing games, it's the interception system, a.k.a. I love it. Pittman was not suspended. Well, how could he not get suspended, though? If he's betting and all these other guys are getting suspended, how does he not get suspended? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Is it just because the whole thing is still under investigation? Efric says, interesting that Jordan Davis is slimming down and will be playing in the 330s. 10 pounds lighter than last year. I personally thought he could put more weight on his frame. What do you guys think? Well, he came in last year, like 342? And I thought he needed better conditioning. He may be able to add, 10 pounds to his frame and muscle and stuff over time, but he wasn't conditioned last year. I think he looks great right now. I think he looks great, and I think he's going to be dominating. Because to me, it was a condition thing with him. He was starting to play really, really good until he got hurt.
True.
But we'll see. James says, Philly, I say Pollard will outplay Swift. I mean, he might just because he may get more touches than Swift. But overall, Swift has the better talent around him. You know what I mean? Witch King says, is Sunday ticket a good investment? It used to be. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if you guys have dealt with NFL streams before, but like they've been horrible. Like you ever try the NFL preseason streams? They keep crashing. They're horrible. So if it's anything like that, it's going to be bad. If it's kind of like Prime was, I think it'll be okay. But I don't like it because then when I stream, I have to run more data, stream the game and stream my stream. I liked it on DirecTV where it didn't have anything, Everybody's saying Pittman didn't get suspended, but why didn't he? John Banta, member for 29 months. Shout out to you, 29 months. Dingbat Nation says, love you both. Go Birds. Love you too, man. Thank you. We got 473 people in the chat right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're in the chat, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Click the link in the description. Go sub up JoeyShakes. Sub us both up and hit that like. We got to have at least over 200 likes in this thing. Let's get them things up. You know what I mean? Kirk says, YouTube has been around. I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's not YouTube I'm worried about. It's the NFL. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem, but I'm sure there will be kinks and stuff that they got to work out, but I don't like it. I don't mind that they're on YouTube. I just wish DirecTV kept doing it. That way, I could just watch it through DirecTV and it wouldn't interfere with my stream.
Right.
Let's see. There's news on Twitter about the gambling incident. Yeah, I'm seeing that, but I got to think that if Pittman hasn't, well, let me see what Wisconsin Eagles fan here. Remember 36 months, tinfoil dingbat, shout out to you. So wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. is not being investigated for potential violations of the NFL gambling policy. But on Monday, erroneous accounts from a fake Adam Schefter page said he was. Okay. So he's not being investigated for gambling, but there was a fake report. So that makes way more sense. Let's see. Have a good time off. Well, you'll see us every day. We're still going to be putting out videos. It's just that these Saturdays I am not going to be around. So it's just a good time, especially with the 4th coming, to kind of just, take a break. Tyler Wallace, thank you for super chat. He goes, Ringo, cornerback equals higher ceiling, safety equals higher floor, in my opinion. Yeah. I agree. Positionally wise, I agree. For Ringo personally, I don't know, because a lot of what I was reading from scouts was that they think he's going to make a better safety in this league than a corner. Would you rather be a backup corner or a starting safety? So, that's kind of how I look at it. But
we'll find out. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Too. I'm rooting for the kid. I like him. We both liked him. We were really excited when the Eagles traded up for him. I don't know how and why he fell in the draft, but I love it. And hopefully he'll be great.
Yeah.
JoJo's twin says, do you guys think there'll be any breakout stars on the Eagles no one is talking about? Let me think about that. Nobody's talking about somebody that comes out of nowhere.
Interesting.
I honestly think if I had to guess, with guys that we don't talk much about, if they were going to be really good, I'll give you three names. All right. One, I'm going to say Cam Jurgens if he wins the right guard spot. Number 2, I'm going to say Calcaterra. He's going to be a really good second tight end. And 3, Milton Williams. I think Milton Williams is a player. So he could be a guy that has a really good year that nobody's talking about. That would be my 3. You have any you think of, Joey?
Yeah, I was going to say Calcaterra. I was actually going to go the opposite route and say Tyler Steen, that he'll win that right guard job out of nowhere and play really good this year. And kind of, I would say Nicholas Morrow too. I think a lot of people are down on him, and I think could have a big year because he's a big question mark right now until we really get in the training camp and see how he plays next to Dean and seeing how the linebacker core goes. So those would be my 3.
Yeah, that's interesting. Radiation Bots, a member for 9 months of Dingbat Nation, man. Shout out to you. Says, what's happening in the Eagles news for a Monday shake? Not much. The whole reason we're doing today is this is our season finale, which means this is a time of year where like I'm going away on vacation, so the next few weekends I'm not going to be around. Then you have the 4th of July, so it's kind of where we just take a little break from these live shows and start regrouping for the next for training camp. And when we come back, we're about a week or 2 away from training camp, and we're ready to go. Yeah, when we come back, I mean, it's going to be like we're going to be like 2 weeks from camp. I can't wait. I wish camp would get here right now. You know what I mean? Ooh, Eli Ricks is an interesting one. Soul Bros. I think Eli Ricks is very interesting. He's bigger than I thought. Just looking at him at OTAs, he could be somebody that surprises us too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just really all about health with him because it's like even really his last. I think last year, played really well last year and didn't give up a touchdown last year for Alabama. But obviously, the 2 years prior to that, he was dealing with a lot of injuries too. So, yeah, I mean, even Zach McPherson's another one. He was playing some nickel, because really, I mean, Devontae Max goes down. He went down 2 times, and you had to deal with the whole Josiah Scott thing, and that's going to get really annoying. And I heard Job took over for Slay. I heard McPherson took over for Maddox. So nice to see a couple guys kind of fill those spots. Like I said, we're not in full pads yet, but as training camp comes, and we'll see more of that backup corner.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of these guys at camp and preseason because they're not playing. They'll get one series, game 1 in the preseason, the starters, and then they'll be done. That'll be it for the whole preseason. That's what they've done the last year.
We were nervous last year. We were nervous. We're like one series, like that's not enough.
Yeah, they came out and they were sharp. Kirk Adkins says, will Derek Barnett make the final 53? I'm going to say no. I don't believe he makes it. I actually think they're going to trade him for like a late pick, something like that. And I think they sign another defensive end. I think they're going to bring in somebody else, and then they're going to trade him. That's my prediction. So I'm going to say no. I don't think he makes it. What about you?
I'm going to say they will keep him because they need a body. I think that's
really. It needs somebody that goes all sides.
I don't want it. I don't want it. But if they got rid of him and signed Yannick Ngakoue, but the thing is, like your third rotation. You're out on your third rotation, which your first 2 defensive lines could start for any team in the league right now. I mean, there's 2 starting lines, but
lawsuit coming. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Shout out to you. I see that they're talking about Mozzie. I wish I was Nolan Smith. Says Mozzie Smith bleeds gravy. He's fat. Yeah, listen, the Cowboy fans were so upset about that pick. And now they're trying to turn it around, dude. They were upset. They thought they got Nolan Smith,
I don't know.
Sister Manal says, thoughts on the Umbrella Man signing in Atlanta. Now they got London and Whiteside, both Philly 500's favorite players. Listen, I don't know. The question is will his mom be walking around with an umbrella? Don't they play inside? So there should be no rain. He's a journeyman. He ain't gonna do nothing for them. He ain't gonna do nothing.
He's got a job. I'm shocked, but
he's got a tryout. We'll see if he makes the squad. Big Dog says Deuce Vaughn is better than Tony Pollard since Dallas is saying he was a steal of the draft. Bang, bang, cow, girls, bang. Let me tell you, Deuce Vaughn was their best pick in the whole draft. That was the only decent pick they had. Every other pick was a disappointment. There ain't no way Derek Barnett Twits is going to be a breakout play. Come on. Ness says, I hear Tyree is the best athlete on the team. If he stays healthy, he could be a great tight end. Do it, got her. Yeah, well, we were talking about that earlier. In OTAs, they say he's looked good, and I just think he is a great athlete. So we'll see what he does. You know what I mean? Oh, Philadelphia's in here doing God's work. He's always doing God's work on Mark Holmes' channel. Mark Holmes is right now lost at sea. He says, bro, you ain't never seen the Cowboys go past the divisional playoffs in high definition TV in the 2000s. That's right. Your 70s, 90s can't save you from 30 years of mediocrity in the playoffs in 2000s. Mic drop. Boom, right there. Tell him. Lawsuit coming. David Super Chat. He goes, are you worried about Hurts being a first read and run quarterback? I am not. No. I think Hurts got better.
He's already proved he's not. So
yeah, I don't believe he's that either. I thought he came a long way last year, and I think he's only going to improve this year. I have him throwing for over 30 touchdowns. I think he throws 31, 32 touchdowns, about 4,500 yards, rushes for about another 10, and then maybe 10 receptions. So he's going to have over 40 touchdowns combined. I am not worried about it at all. I think if that was the case, that would have if that was the way it was, that would have been last year. It would have been apparent last year. So I don't worry about that at all. Let's see. Barron says Hurts has 20 touchdowns, 20-4 interception ratio from inside the pocket. That's pretty good. Yeah, and he's got weapons. I mean, he's got the best offensive line in football. He's got DeVonta, AJ, Goddard, right? Now you're talking about another threat at running back to receive. So, I mean, I don't know, man. He's got a lot of weapons, I think he's fine. Since Manas's 500, do you see what we would have given up for Russell? It was Hurts, Sweat, and multiple first rounders. Yeah, I did see that.
Crazy.
That would have been insane. Oh my gosh, we would have been the most miserable people on earth. Imagine if he goes to Seattle, Sweat has double-digit sacks, Hurts has the year he had last year, and we're with Russell Wilson, and he's old and stinks. I mean, that was crisis averted, man. Disaster averted, There you go. Here's a good question. Big Dog, 1891. What battles are you most excited to see in OTAs and camp? I'll let you go first.
Oh man, my favorite as of right now. I don't know. I think safety's a big question. Like, just because we went the plan B option with Terrell Edmonds after Chauncey didn't sign, and then they, you had the Red Star player and Sidney Brown and how he really was, lighting it up at OTAs. I really feel like, they added a lot of bodies, Justin Evans, they added a lot of bodies to safety and to see if they actually sign somebody, but to see what they already have right now, to see if Sidney Brown can kind of scoop up that starting role. Maybe Reed Blankenship takes a back seat. Maybe, it's good that they're, Reed Blankenship gets a full off season as a projected starter, but nothing's promised right now. I think safety's most exciting for me going into it all.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's a lot. I mean, safety is definitely interesting. I think that right guard spot is going to be interesting with Steen and Cam Jurgens. I think the running back battle, because I do think there's going to be a battle there, at least early on in camp. And then that third wide receiver spot, like is this kid from Atlanta, Zacchaeus, is he going to be able to take it from Quez Watkins? Because I think it's completely open. Those are the ones that interest me the most, Jason Rhodes, thank you for super chat, man. He says, to both of you guys, top 3 favorite current players. That's interesting. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I would say my top 3 would be number 1, DeVonta Smith. Number 2 would be Jalen Hurts, and number 3 would be Hassan Reddick. Those would be my top 3.
Yeah, I would. I mean, mine's pretty close to yours. I obviously say Jalen Hurts is my number 1. I was going to say AJ Brown, and most likely go Hassan Reddick as well because he's a beast. So,
yeah, I just love Hassan Reddick. A guy that could just go up and blow up a whole team in one drive, just blow that whole team up. is like, oh, I love a guy like that. And DeVonta Smith is my favorite player in the league, because we wanted him so bad, and then all the talk about how small he is, he'll never amount to anything in the NFL. I just think he's just so talented, and I think he's an underrated player. And I just like the kid. I like how he carries himself, and I like him a lot. Jason Rhodes says Smitty is mine too. Yeah, I tell you what. As soon as those Kelly Green jerseys are announced, I'm buying a DeVonta Smith jersey. That'll be my first one, and then it'll be Hassan, and then it'll be Jalen Hurts. Nathan says my top 3 is like 80% of this team. I know, right? Now, if you said non-Eagles, that would be something I'd have to really think about that. At least for 2 and 3, I would have to think about that. How can Lane Johnson not be your top 3? I love Lane Johnson, but I don't know. Those are the guys that come to my mind. Kelly Green, Nolan Smith. Yeah, I like Nolan Smith. What do you think? What do you think? Like, what do you see Nolan Smith like? Like, how much do you think he impacts this team this year?
I think he's a 6 to 7 sack guy this year. I think he'll lead the team in pressures this year. I think he'll be second in pressures behind Reddick. I think so. I think he'll do a lot better than everyone thinks he's going to do. I think he's really going to shore up that edge a lot. Even though would I love him to start in the rotation? Yes, but obviously not going to happen. But I think in that second rotation, he's going to do really well. I think we're going to see something very different. And now I'm actually kind of want to see how Sean Desai uses Reddick, if they're going to have him, in coverage, and how much he's going to do it with some of these guys.
Well, I hope they don't put Reddick. I hope I would cut Reddick's coverage if I could.
Yeah.
If I could, and I would like to see them blitz more. If they said what, Gannon blitzed 9% of the time, and if we can get that up to 25%, I'll be very happy.
Oh, we'll get it. I think we'll be fine there. I think we'll be fine. To be honest,
jeez,
can't get worse than that.
No. John Davis says, "Yo, Philly, will Swift be as good or better than Westbrook?" Oh, that's I can't.
Too much. That's
Brian
too
Westbrook.
much.
Brian Westbrook was, in my opinion, and I never saw Wilbur Montgomery, right? But to me, I think Westbrook might have been the best running back I've seen, pure running back I've seen. I think Westbrook was that good. So I think that would be crazy. I do think he has the potential to be a top 5 back in this league right now. Does that equal what I think of what Westbrook did? I don't know. Efritz says no. Let's see. Spirit their advantage says, yeah, Nolan Smith probably won't have much impact this first year. Yeah, I mean, we just don't know. I think, here's what I think, and I've said this before. If you look at the first 4 picks they had, I really truly believe it's possible that 3 of those guys could be starters. Jalen Carter will be a starter. I think Sidney Brown has a legitimate chance to win a starting job. And I think Steen has a chance to win the guard spot over Juergens. I'm not saying he's going to beat Juergens out, but I think he's going to at least have an opportunity. So you're in a situation where you can have 3 of the first 4 guys. And the only reason Nolan Smith might not be is because the guys in front of him are just that good. So I think people got to be a little patient with Nolan Smith. But I think he's going to be a stud, though.
Yeah, like statistically, like I said, like I don't think Nolan Smith will have like a double sack season, a double-digit sack season, but I feel like he will be, disruptive. I feel like he's going to help who's next to him like tremendously. He might be the reason why a lot of these guys make plays. You never know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true. We got 438 people in the chat, by the way. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, make sure you subscribe, click the link, and sub up Joey Shakes. This is the season finale of the Philly Shakedown podcast. We won't be back until after the 4th. You'll still see us doing videos, but this is a time where we get a chance to regroup. I won't be around the next 3 Saturdays.
What date are we coming back? What do you remember? I forgot.
Yeah, I think we were talking about The 8th.
Okay.
The 8th or 15th, one of those two. But the 8th, I think at least after the 4th of July. If we come back, camp probably starts like the 25th, 24th. So if we came back the 8th, we would have about 2 weeks before camp starts, which gives us a chance to catch up on everything, and stuff. So it might be a good idea. I think the 8th, Someone now says, do you think Dallas Goedert can have 1,000+ yard season? I do. I think you could have 3,000-yard guys this year. I think it's possible. How many yards did he have last year, by the way? I'm gonna look.
How many what?
I want to look up Dallas Goedert. How many yards he had last year? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, the thing with Goddard is just got.
What do you like 600 to 800s in between there? He had something like that, I think.
Yeah. No, but he also missed games. He had 55 catches for 302 yards or 702 yards.
Oh, okay.
So he had over 700 yards, right? And 55 catches. Here's the thing: he only played in 12 games.
It's crazy, right?
So he only played in 12 games. If he plays another 5, he's going to go over 1,000 yards. So I think that let's see, in 2021 he played in 15 games, had 56 catches for 830 yards. Yeah, I think you have the chance this year, and I think you're also going to see Hurts throw more. I think Hurts runs less than last year and throws more this year. I think it comes down a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. But I think you have the potential for 3 first round, three guys over 1,000 yards. I think it's possible. In my opinion. System says Philly 500. Vegas is some pretty good bets. If you guess how many Cowboys players get arrested, the payout is insane. Oh, I'm going over under 3. I say over under 3 I would take the over. I think we already had 1 arrested. So I expect at least 2 more.
What position was that guy that got arrested? I forgot who it was.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, they just worked out. They
cut him today.
Harry.
They cut him.
They actually worked out N'Keal Harry today.
Oh, did they? Well, he can't run, dude. He's slow. Big Dog 1891. He says, I think Dean is the dark horse to lead the team in total tackles. His football IQ is second to none. Can see him being a Luke Kuechly type player with how he breaks down plays. I think he's going to have a monster year too. Leading tackles, that's a great hot take. I like it. I think Dean is going to be a great player. He may have to continue to get bigger and stronger, but I can't wait to see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah. Joe says, if Sidney Brown pans out, his Kelly Green jersey could be my first choice. What number is he again? 40? Is he 43?
Yeah, I think he's 43. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's like like Wes Hopkins was 48 as a safety. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Let's see here. Marcus, a Cowboy fan, says, I could see the Eagles going 9-8 this season. Does anyone else agree? No. Not in the NFC. The NFC conference is not that good, really. I don't think it's that good. So, I think we'll be fine. Let's see. Dak owns the Eagles and has not seen second round playoffs with the 8 years tenure. Well, it really, Linda, it's really bad. Dallas Cowboy fans try to take pride in that, but it's really a signal that he's underachieved. You imagine you have 27-7 record versus your division. You've never won back-to-back titles, and you can't get out of the second round of the playoffs. In that time, Washington stunk, the Giants stunk, and the Eagles were kind of in transition up and down. 2017, 2018, they were kind of up and down. Mm-hmm. Now the Eagles are a powerhouse, and the Giants are getting better, and Washington getting better. His window's kind of closing. Like, you're not going to continue to have that great division record. And he kind of blew it. He squandered it. So I don't know why the Cowboy fans, I don't know why they brag about that, in my opinion. That's just what I think about it.
We'll trust me.
Yeah. The Eagles' defense is perfect for Dak. Dak is good at slowly and methodically moving down the field, and Eagles' defense has been more concerned about big plays. That will likely change this year. I expect the Eagles to be a little more aggressive. And I do agree with you. One of the things that gets on my nerves about Gannon was that some of these quarterbacks, you have to get pressure on them, and you have to bring pressure from different spots. And if you're not getting pressure with your front, you don't do anything about it. I mean, you should never have quarterbacks with over 80% completion percentage against you.
Well, it's a react defense. You're moving your corners back. They're sitting while receivers and tight ends are going 100% at you, and you're reacting to a break of a route. You're not going to win that way, and really depend on your defensive line so much, especially if you're not blitzing. So it just didn't work out for a lot of games.
Oh, Elmer says Sidney Brown's 21.
He switched his number? I thought he was...
He must have... Yeah, I thought he was 43, but he might have switched his number. But why is 21 not retired?
Yeah,
21 should be retired, man. 12, 21, 92, 99, 96 should be retired. 59 should be retired. I mean, dude, 21 should be retired. Jeez. I would retire every number. Insert alphabets. Cowboy fans' favorite store is Blockbuster Video. Yeah, they still have their Blockbuster Video card. They're trying to renew it. They're like, where do we go to renew our Blockbuster card? Yeah, they don't know. They have no idea. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah, Eric Allen should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree. Lonely says 49ers trash talk the Eagles playoff game was a direct result of them dominating the Cowboys the week before. Yeah, they thought that the Cowboys were going to, the Cowboys couldn't stop the 49ers. The Eagles destroyed the 49ers in one play. Big difference between those two teams. Let's just be honest with it. Joey?
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Let me see here. Let's see. Are the Dallas Super Bowl recordings on DVD yet? I don't think so. And if they are, they're really bad quality, because those tapes are getting to the point where those tapes are deteriorating. They're going to have to redo them or something,
True.
Barron says, if Dickerson has another Pro Bowl season, how much will he get paid? He's going to get paid a lot, because I think he's underrated too. I think their whole offensive line is underrated. And I know you might be saying, well, they're the number one offensive line. Everybody knows how good they are. I think they're historically good and historically underrated. And if they would have won a Super Bowl last year, they would have gotten what they deserve.
Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah, Stoutland is great. I mean, and that's why I like about Stoutland with Steen. That's why I think a guy like Steen, you can't underestimate those guys, because he gets the best out of you. I mean, let's face it. Look at all the guys that have been hurt. I mean, we had a couple years ago, remember when all our offensive linemen were hurting, and he continuously went out there and you'd have Driscoll play and Herbert and these guys would play well, Joey. They would play well. So
here's a question too. Like, Jeff Stoutland's actually the run game coordinator too. So as an offensive line coach, how much input does he have on the run game? Which, as an offensive line coach, I don't know what he does specifically as a run game coordinator. I mean, I honestly don't know as an offensive line coach, but not sure.
Lonely B says Cowboys Super Bowl came in the same century that the Wright brothers invented flying. I'm gonna be at the Wright brothers Memorial. Actually, I'm gonna take my kids there. I don't want to go there. I've been there like 1,000 times. It's boring, but my kids want to go, so I'm gonna take them when we're gone. Isabel says 3rd and 30 on Philly and scored 12 points on the 49ers. Never made it to the NFC Championship game. That's it. Never made to the NFC Championship game. Michael says, what's up, guys? Hearing Hurts is progressing even more in camp this year. Yeah, Hurts, by all counts, looks absolutely great. I think it's going to be awesome. He's going to own the Cowboys. I'll say that. Let's see. Twit says 500. I hate Dallas so much. An angel on my Xmas tree. No damn star. 100. Oh yeah. I haven't had a star on my Christmas tree in years, because it reminds me too much of the Cowboys. I will not put a star on a Christmas tree, so it's always an angel. I'm with you, man. Well, we're an hour and 10 in, Joey. It's time, I think, to start winding this thing down. You know what I mean? Jock Talk says the Philly Shakedown podcast season finale cliffhanger does. Oh God, did you come back? And if you'll have to find out, Jock Talk. We'll have to find out. Beginning of the season, you know, it'll be fun when we come back. You know, it'll be 2 weeks before camp, and geez, it's going to be crazy. I cannot wait, and I do expect some things to happen. Like, you know, you still have 4 roster spots left. I can't see the Eagles not doing something with that. You know.
Hopefully something. I mean, like I said, I think it's a wait and see approach too. It could be before training camp. It could be, you know, let's see what they have. You know, coaches want to see what they have, and then if they feel like they need to add more, they'll add somebody. But like you said, the longer that Yannick Ngakoue, or the longer, you know, a trade for Isaiah Simmons or Patrick Queen, or, you know, even Budda Baker, you know, even a signing of Budda Baker, if it's still around by that time, there's a good chance we might get someone for a bargain, and it could happen. So.
Yeah, something will happen. They'll do something. I just don't know what. But I mean, you know, you still, in my opinion, you got to keep improving your team. You keep improving your team. If there's chances to get better, you always do it. You know, once training camp starts, then I think you know, you're kind of set. It becomes less likely. But right now, this is Howie Roseman, dude. He's capable of anything. You know.
True.
Well, let me say this to everybody out there. Thank you guys so much for all the support over the 2 years that you've given us. It's been awesome. The show has continuously grown bigger and bigger. Pause. I expect big things from it. Pause again. This upcoming year, it should be fun. We're gonna you know, change some things, tweak it. Hopefully, maybe merchandise. You know, stuff like that. I do, before training camp, I do want to do like a call-in, so we can have people call in, you know.
Sure.
So that should be fun. Fat Folder, thank you for super chat. He goes, Barnett is like a turd that won't flush. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? It's true. And thank you for super chat. But yeah, we want to thank you guys. I mean, you know, anything you have planned coming up the next few days?
Just some videos. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. I mean, it's you know, we're kind of picking straws now. You know, there's only so much that we can really cover, because I mean, there's always things to talk about just about camp and all that stuff. But I mean, until really something happens that's crazy, you know, we'll find out. But yeah, Philly Shakedown after two years, 2 seasons, and you know, obviously without you guys, this wouldn't be a success. And it's getting, like I said, he said, it's getting bigger every year. Pause. But you know, like I said, you know, whether you agree with us, don't agree with us, I hope you guys have enjoyed our off seasons, and obviously during in-game seasons as well. So we want to thank all you guys for supporting both the channels and doing all the great stuff.
Definitely, and we got a lot coming this year. It's going to be fantastic, no doubt about it. And I'll be having videos, you know, a lot of videos. I'll be on vacation next week too, but I'll still have some videos that I pre-record, and I also have some stuff up in here and there. I'm not gonna be Mark Holmes, like 10 videos a day, you know, while on vacation. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't getting lost at sea. But I will, you know, I will be popping in, so you'll see me, no doubt about it. Spirit says, what am I supposed to do without the Philly 5? Oh, squat cobblers continue. Cobblers
beach
continue.
cobbler.
Yeah, it's going to be a beach cobbler. I'm getting some local fruit, making some local pies. So we'll be doing some beach balcony squat cobblers. That's what I call it. And that'll be on my only channel. So if you guys don't know, I have an only channel. A member, who's this? Hold on. T. Patrick, a member for 35 months. Shout out to you, man. Dingbat Nation. He goes, enjoy your time off, fellas. Thank you, my man. Sure. Radiation Boss, favorite super chat goes, Cowboy fans keep saying the Eagles choked while putting up 30+ and losing by 3. How can you choke when they beat the GOAT and lose to the second greatest? Yeah, it's crazy. Listen, the Eagles didn't even have their starting quarterback. If they would have had Hurts, they win that game. But I mean, thank you for super chat, man. Definitely appreciate it. Radiation Boss, we appreciate that, man. Thank you. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. I do have another video coming up later tonight, so look for that. And with that said, man, I think this is it. It's time to sign off season 2. get ready for season 3.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, guys. So with that said, you guys take care. We will talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And you know what time it is. Peace.
Peace.
Play. We had one.
Yo, you gotta be motherfucking
You
kidding
gotta
me.
be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What you doing?
running from
What you doing?
To get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right.
Kellen Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had no time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us.
Away, but, you know, this is just
The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
The brother screwed
it
us.
is, man.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way
We had an opportunity for one more play.
Hi, Michael Anthony, Fitness Hit MAF.